right, welcome back to the Knives Fast channel, guys. It is time for another review. This one comes by way of the Apex Pass Around group from Benchmade. So say hello to Ren and Stimpy and Powdered Toast Man and Log and TV, and let's get started. Now, my understanding is Zach from Zach's Stuff was the one that got Benchmade to bring this into the Apex group. So thank you, Zach, and thank you, Benchmade. This is a black box Benchmade. This is the Redoubt, is how I believe it is supposed to be pronounced. Tactical or everyday CPM D2 manual open, and of course an axis lock. And here it is. Very interesting offering from Benchmade. Again, like I said, it is an axis lock, and it is in this grivery or grivery, whichever you'd prefer to say, handle. So basically a polymer or plastic handle. Now, it's got this gray look both on the blade and on the scales, but you also have this green insert. I thought it was interesting that my buddy Big Red EDC pointed out that this is actually made, it looks like, so you could take that off with a few screws out and maybe put a different color in there. So maybe down the road they'll offer that. Should be pretty interesting. You do have a lanyard hole. Now, guys, you saw me do my review of the the off-grid knives, Enforcer, and it had a really grippy handle. Well, this isn't the whole handle, but this is extremely grippy. It is those knobs. It's focusing pretty well here. Those knobby parts stick up very far, as you can see, and it's definitely grippy. And the other part of this is, I believe this is molded, so you have some jimping here and jimping there, but what it is it's poured jimping. And so we'll talk more about that in a minute, but that is a very interesting part of the grip. This part up here is not slick, but it's not super grippy, but this part back here is extremely grippy. You also have some jimping in the steel liners up here. They are partial liners. As you can see, there are some weight reduction holes there. Let's see, and I can't, and of course my flashlight's upstairs, but you can see where it's pieced together right there and right there, and it's good, and it feels good in the hand. You do have a sharpening choil. You do have this, probably, I don't know, what is the coating? I think it's titanium oxide. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. There is a coating. It does say polymer handle. I'm looking at Blade HQ, by the way, guys, because that's where these are currently in stock. I know some people have asked about them being in stock, and that's where they are. You do have a black pivot screw, and it apparently is captive, I believe, since you only have tooling on one side, and you have a black axis lock. Now, the blade, like I said, it is this textured coating, very similar to the coating that is on the Adamus, the whatever you want to call it. An interesting little touch here is you've got black hardware back here, and you have a silverish thumb stud. So really interesting. I'm not sure about that. I think I would have gone with black, but it is what it is. This coating is really good. Now, this is a CPM D2, so a powdered metal version of D2. You do have your Benchmade logo there, and your CPM D2 right here. Now, and so it's still going to be corrosive, but you do have this coating. So really good. Now, I did find this guy to be pretty sharp. So here's, this poor piece of cardboard has been through it, but you can see just shaving that cardboard really easily. It's a fairly thin blade stock. It is definitely not bug out thin, but it is fairly thin blade stock. And it is a high flat grind, so it comes down to a nice slicey edge. You can see it just, whoops, I threw it in the floor. That was great. Comes down there and really good. You do have a nice size here. This is a pretty good size knife. You do have swedging up here. You do not have, interesting, there's jimping everywhere back here, but there's no jimping up here. It doesn't really bother me. You got a nice thumb ramp. Nowhere to choke up to speak of, but it feels good. Action-wise, you have thumb studs you can get in there really easily on the thumb studs. Again, axis lock, so it's going to be fairly fidgety. The action feels good. There's no detent. I don't believe it's a spring deal, but it works pretty well. And again, you can also go all button lock Elementum on it. But there you go. So, all right. So let's talk about the grip. All right. So you've got a shorter pocket clip. So the good news is I don't really feel that pocket clip. You have a swelled contoured handle. Very nice. Chamfered and rounded off. So it feels really nice, and you avoid that pocket clip by the arch of your hand. The pocket clip is also in here, so it's take it apart, flip it around, put it back together, but it is left and right, and pretty easily done, and you have decent clearance. I will say this front part of the pocket clip is a little pokey, but it was fine in and out of the pocket. That's just me being nitpicky. So back in the grip. So here's my issue, guys. In my hands, my pinky and this finger right here are really getting hot spots from this molded polymer jimping. If you were going to do that, you should have hit the edges of this. On the edges, you should have brought that down or done something, or just not had it. But by the way, you can see inside there, plenty of weight relief inside the scales with that grivery there. I would not say that any of this is a hot spot. You can definitely feel this part right here where you have a row of dots right on the edge, but it's not bad. This is bad to me. That is really my only real issue with this knife. Now, this knife is selling right now, and again, I'm looking at Blade HQ. They're in stock when I'm recording this, $162. It is an 8.29-inch knife. The blade length is 3.55, so plenty of blade length. I like it. Cutting is 3.375. Yes, please. The blade thickness is 0.13, so kind of an average thickness. But again, it's tall enough that it comes down to a nice thin edge. I like it. CPM D2, it is a drop point, flat grind. The finish is that black, or it almost looks gray to me. I wish it would tell me what it is, but it doesn't really. The handle thickness is 0.62, so it is a little fatter because it swells out. But that's actually in this case an advantage because it makes your hands flare out and it keeps you off that clip. To me, right hand, left hand, thumb studs. It runs on washers. It is an axis or bar lock. And the model number is 430BK. So there you go, $162. It is D2. There is part of me that wants to say that that's high for D2. It is powdered D2, and it is coated. A coating always brings the price up. Plus, you've got this insert. So I don't know. Benchmades are always going to be a little higher. In my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. But, is this one worth it? Sure. I mean, if you like this style, with the grivery handle, grivery, whatever, then yes. And again, my only really knock against this knife is this is a definite. If you're just EDC cutting something and you're not bearing down, fine. But if you're going to work with this knife, you need to know that's going to be a hot spot. So, that's it, guys. So there is my review of the Benchmade Redoubt, or something like that. I hope I said it right. Check it out. I'll leave a link down in the description. Again, I wish it was available somewhere that I had a code for you guys, but right now White Mountain doesn't have it. I don't think Blue Creek Knives has them. But look in those places before you buy, just to see if you can get a 10% discount using KnivesFAST. And thank you, guys. Little insert here. I forgot to do a couple of things. Number one, great lockup on this knife. Again, tiniest bit of blade play, but the lockup, again, with that bar lock, it's going to be a positive lockup. Really, really well done. You can see that. No problems whatsoever. and it is dead centered. And the last thing, you guys are going to get me if I don't do this, so we're just going to do it and let the video. I was trying to hurry up because I'd like my videos to be under 10 minutes, but I'd rather do the full video and be a little bit over. So there is the Ontario Rat 1 with the Benchmade Redoubt, and there is the Ontario Rat 2. So again, this is a really cool knife. Thank you so much, Benchmade, for sending it to the Apex group, and Zach for sending it to the Apex group, and thank you, for the Apex group for sending it to me. I'm going to send it on to the next guy, guys. And thank you so much for your support. Give me a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up. And let me know what you think of this one. And thank you guys so much for your support. Subscribe if you're not. And thank you for watching the Knives Fast channel.